Hello and welcome back to Rust, this new little Let's Play series here. So if you joined us last time, we talked about how to basically survive your first day in Rust, all the dangers that one faces, and as we saw we got chased by wolves, barely escaped hunger, shot a few bears, and it was pretty exciting. So in this episode here, I think I'm going to talk about the next step. So you got your shack down, you got some food going here. You're starting to get pretty good, you got your bow, and so let's talk about the next steps, building a better base than this little shack, because this is only good against the elements. If there was another player or raiding party that came through, they could potentially break down the door here and cause some problems for you. They'll just come right in here and take all your stuff, your hard-earned stuff. So let's make let's talk about getting a little shelter here now. What we're basically going to need is tons of wood. When you make that next shelter, you're just going to want to go out and find as much wood as possible. So with that in mind, I'm going to just go and start gathering wood, and once I've accumulated a good deal of it, I will come back and we'll start talking about basics of base building. So I'm just going to take a look around here. Now again, our base is right off the side there by that tree. This is generally the kind of area you want to set up a camp in, set up a base, because if you look around, there's tons of resources. There's rocks, wood over there, same over here, and you know, it just looks nice. You got the water over there, and again, it's pretty secluded back in the mountains. So this is kind of like an area you want to look for. If you guys did get a chance to look on the map, I do believe we are right to the west of Big Rad Town. So if you guys take a look at the map, if you got a chance, rustmap.net I think it was, this location is right about where the Big Rad Town is. So again, I'm just going to keep collecting resources and come back when I have enough. Okay, so I've just spent about the last 5-10 minutes running around this valley here collecting resources, and I've gotten 250 wood over here and 153 wood over here, along with a bunch of other rocks. And I was coming past here, and I just ran right by my house and kind of had a panic moment. I was like, where the heck is my house? And then I realized that it's right back here behind this tree. So this is indeed a nice spot with this tree right here. So anyway, so once we've got a good deal of wood, now we're going to eventually need a little more than this, but for now this is okay. I'm going to hit crafting up here, and we're going to want to make some planks. So under resource, wood planks, and this is the basic building material that you're going to use to make your first fort here. So at the bottom, if you hold control and click the plus, it'll give you the maximum amount of planks you can make with the amount of resources you have. So it's telling us we can make 40 planks. But I always like to leave a little extra raw wood left over, so I'm just going to dial it back to 35. So we're going to craft 35 wooden planks. And again, this probably isn't even nearly as much as we're going to need in total, but it's a good start. Just to kind of show you what I'm getting at here. Just about finished. Here we are. So we have now 35 wooden planks. So with these planks, we go all the way at the bottom here. We can start to craft different pieces of a fort. We have the pillar, the foundation, the wall, the doorway, etc. The first thing you want to get going here is wood foundation. That's the very base of your base. So let's see. We're gonna probably make a 2x2 to start with. So that means we're gonna need four foundations, so we're going to need 32 wooden planks. We have 35, so we'll have a couple left over. And so as you can see, the foundation is going to take about 60 seconds to craft. So as you start getting more advanced, the crafting times are going to get a little longer. But I won't make you guys wait through that. Okay, we're just about finished up here. So let's see what we got. And there are our 4 wood foundations. So we're not going to place this just yet. It's actually getting towards evening. But basically what you would do is you press 6 to pull up those foundations, and you'd want to find a spot relatively flat, and again a spot that's kind of kind of back in the woods somewhere, and you start placing these foundation blocks. But like I said, I'm not going to place them yet. I'm going to wait till I have a little more building material. So I'm just going to keep running around and collecting more wood. So I've just come over the ridge here, and we can actually see Big Rad Town, exemplified by its giant smokestack. Now there is another area that has smokestack, but I can tell just by the way it looks that it's Big Rad Town. And you can hear the Geiger counter clicking away. And this is what I mean about random patches of radiation. Usually towards these little town structures, you see you'll start to have radiation poisoning. Or at least they'll start to click up the Geiger counter. If you look at the bottom right under food, there's rads. So we're slowly accumulating some radiation here. And you're generally safe up until a certain point. I think if you get under 500 rads, you're fine. But anything over 500, and you actually start losing health. And you're going to want to get rid of that. And the way to get rid of radiation is either to just stop being in radiation for a while, or you can eat food, or you can pop radiation pills, and that'll actually get rid of the radiation. So I'm just kind of walking around, gathering resources. I'm not going to do a raid on any towns just yet, because these are hot spots. A lot of people like to come here and raid all the goodies, because you get items that you don't find anywhere else in these little areas here. So, you know, once you've built up, you know, a good deal of resources, a good deal of guns and ammo, it's a good time to raid. So we'll save that for another episode down the line. So you can even kind of see the sky's a little fuzzy. Whenever you're in radiation, you kind of get this fuzz going on. So I'm just going to run away from it. Get out of the radiation field. And eventually it'll start going away. Sorry about my Steam messages popping up there. I played this game on another server with a couple of guys, and they were just wondering what I was doing on here. And you can see down at the bottom right, cold. So it's getting towards night, and that's why we're getting cold, also because we're not wearing any clothes. So it's our character is cold, and so as a result, he's going to start losing food a little faster. But I'm just going to shoot this deer here. Oop, that was a miss. And hopefully this deer will give us... He's not even running. The deer will give us some more cloth so we can start making clothing. And once you get clothing, enough clothing, you kind of you stop being cold. So yeah, once it starts getting dark, you generally want to start heading back in towards your little camp. It's not like anything bad happens in the dark, but you just don't want to be caught in the dark. Just because it's impossible to see, and even if you have a torch, it's pretty much lighting a big beacon over yourself saying, hey everyone, I'm over here, come and kill me. So that's why we're gonna start heading in towards our camp, which I do believe is over to the west here. Alright, so we're back at camp, and just in time, the sun is just starting to go down, and you can see I'm cold and hungry, so let's light this fire up. It's going to get rid of the cold. Now we're comforted, so we're going to lose food a little slower, and we're going to cook up this food here. Just kind of eat whatever I had left. Just in time, I just had enough food. And so at nighttime, since there's really nothing else going on, this is really the perfect time for you to craft all the materials that you need for the next day. Generally, the way you should play this game, or at least I've had the most success with it, is search for resources and opportunities during the day, and spend the night crafting away. So that's what we're going to do. We managed to pick up a good deal more wood, so I'm just going to take those and turn them into more planks. That's basic building block here. So again, I'm going to control-click the plus and just dial it back a little bit, maybe to 43, just so I have some wood left over. You know, it's important to always have some wood left over, because you never know what you're going to need it for, like, for instance, cooking or your fires, or once we get the furnace going, you'll use the wood to to start smelting that metal ore we've collected. I'll show you in a minute once this is done crafting here. There we are. So now we have 46 planks. We're doing good. So in our little box here, we've picked up sulfur ore and metal ore. And so these are the two resources that once you get a furnace, you can actually smelt those down, and you can start making a whole lot of different stuff with the metal ore. It's nighttime. It's pretty uneventful. It's kind of similar to Minecraft, where you kind of dink around in your little cave for the nighttime. Unfortunately, there's no zombies come out at this moment. I kind of would like to see in further developments some kind of change that happens at night. Maybe more zombies, or they should bring zombies back, in my opinion. Or something should spawn, or make it a little more challenging at night. But you know, that's just my opinion. So we'll kind of just wait for dawn to come, and we'll actually start constructing our little base here. Actually, I should probably show exactly what I'm about to construct next. So we've made 4 foundations, and that's going to be the floor of our base. We're going to need pillars to support the walls. We're going to need about 8 pillars for our little 2x2. And you'll see why once we start building it. So that's going to cost us 16 planks. I still think we'll probably need some more wood to gather up, but again, it's good to just baby steps, you know, slowly gather the materials that you need. So there's the pillars. Now we're going to need a doorway. So we're going to craft just one of those. One wood doorway. That only takes a couple seconds. There we are. And so we're going to make... So it's going to basically be a little four-walled enclosure. But one of the walls is the doorway, so we're going to need only three wooden walls. So you can see we're going through our planks like crazy. Alright. There we go. And we're going to also need some ceilings, which these cost a lot more. I think right at this moment we can only make 2 of them. So we'll just craft those guys up. And it's going to take a little longer. The ceilings, if you notice, take the most amount of time to make. Although on this server it seems to be going pretty fast. This might be like a half craft server. Sometimes you'll find servers that say half craft speed, a quarter craft speed, and there's some that say instant crafting. But I don't really see the point of playing that. I mean, the whole point of the game is to be challenging, you know. Where's the challenge in an instant craft? Again, my opinion. Alright, so we have now the ceilings, pillars, doorways, and walls. So we have the basic building blocks we can start building once the morning comes. But I'm just gonna, for now, keep the planks and stuff in here. And actually, now that we have some more cloth, let's use that cloth to craft some armor. So we scroll down to armor here, and this is like the basic armament you can use. So let's get a helmet going. It's going to cost 5 cloth. We should just have enough. We'll see though. And we'll get the vest. So again, armor is kind of multi-purposed. You can, if you hover over it, it'll show you the stats. The helmet, 10 bullet protection, 10 melee protection, only 5 explosive protection, and only 5 cold protection. So you can see as you go along here, you're getting a bunch of things covered. Gives you slight protection from people trying to kill you, and slight protection from the elements. And looks like we just had enough to make a full set of armor here. So we can start putting them on. Makes a lovely zipping noise. And you can see on the left here, effects. These are our total effects, cumulative effects. So with the full set of armor, we have now 33 bullet protection, 33 melee protection, 20 explosive, and 25 cold, which I believe if you have the full set of cloth armor, you no longer are affected by cold. Let's just perform an experiment. We're going to turn our fire off. And yeah, it no longer says comfort, but it also doesn't say cold, so we are no longer affected by cold, which is pretty nice. Just have a little look. Normally I wouldn't go outside at night, but this game's kind of funny. In the early night you can kind of see really clearly, but as it turns to midnight you'll notice that it just gets so dark you can't even see 2 inches in front of you. Interesting. So again, we'll wait till morning. And we're back. So it's now daytime. I spent a good amount of the day searching around for more materials, and I actually encountered the admin of the server. Nice fellow, he scared the hell out of me. I was standing in the middle of the field, and I just heard footsteps, and I couldn't see anybody, and suddenly I see a floating head next to me, and it turns out the admins can wear what's called invisible clothing. It kind of cloaks the player. Nice fellow, we had a little chat. I think I'll post the IP in the description and maybe get some more people playing on the server. But anyways, let's pick a spot for our little base here. I kind of like it's down in this little valley right here. I think would be a good spot. Maybe, let's see. So we have a lot of good stuff around us. We have the mountains right there. We have Rad Town over there somewhere. And a pretty good resource valley in here. So I think this would be a prime spot. So we're just gonna come over here and lay down the starting foundations. So we'll just start popping them in here. And hopefully we'll be able to put 4 pieces. Here we go. There we go, good. So it let us do it. Good. So this is the basic foundation of our little structure here. So let's go ahead. Now, you know, as we're going, I might start making more planks, just because we're definitely gonna need them. Make 45 more, and they'll be good to do while we're crafting. So here we go. Next, you want to put the pillars. Now, you can really screw this up pretty easily. If you put them in the middle of your foundations here, you're gonna have to start all over again. So really make sure that you're putting them on the outsides, and you're just gonna want to put them on the corners and in the center of the outside there. So kind of like what I'm doing here. Just one for the middle and one for the outside. And I see my buddy's now playing Rust, and let's see if he comes in to try to troll me here. It's possible that he'll do that, but anyway, so here we are, and let's pick where we're going to want the door. Let's see, which way? Let's have it facing this way. So we'll put, and if your thing ever comes in like this, you can just use the scroll wheel to maneuver it around. So here we go, we'll just pop that door right in there. Come over here and grab the walls. Yep, and that's my friend. He probably will, that's the sad thing. He'll probably come and try to find me. And it looks like I've seriously miscalculated the amount of walls I'm going to need. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're kind of doing this. So we're going to just take those planks, we're going to make a couple more walls. How many we're going to need? 1, 2, 3, 4 more walls, at least, for now. Okay. And eventually, once we get the furnace running, we're not going to put a wooden door here, because those can be smashed into quite easily. We're going to actually use metal bits to make a metal door. And those cannot be destroyed by conventional weapons. You need to use explosives to get in there. Yeah, me and Nye are bad here. He's talking on chat. I don't know if you could tell. We we play on a different server, and he apparently spawned in this server right where our old base is, so that's pretty funny. Alright, so we've got our walls here. So the next thing we're going to start doing is I think what we'll do is we'll make the stairs in this little corner here and make the rest of our stuff around it. So let's go back, and I'm just going to grab some materials, and we're going to keep building this thing. Alright, we're back. I kind of just brought all my materials in with me, so I think what we're going to do here is put the furnace and such over here, and we'll make the stairs going up over here. So what we're going to need to do first is craft ourselves a furnace, and of course we need low-grade fuel, so let's go and make, let's see, what do we need? We need 10 low-grade fuel. Good, we have plenty of materials, so we're just going to dial it back to 10 exactly. Looks like it's getting towards night, so we just may be working in the night here. That's okay. Furnace, let's make one. And again, we're making this furnace so we can get a metal door up as soon as possible. I would just put a wooden door up right now, but we'd have to tear it down again, and I don't feel like doing that. So let's put this one right in the corner, and the furnace is going to open up a whole new set of things we can do. So we're going to put our sulfur stone and our metal ore in there, along with a good deal of wood, and we're just going to set that going, and that's going to slowly smelt us down all this material. It's going to take the metal ore and give us metal bits. It's going to take the sulfur ore and give us sulfur powder, and it'll take the wood and turn it into charcoal, which we can then use to make gunpowder and the like. In the meantime, let's keep crafting here. We're going to need a couple more pillars, actually just one more pillar. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I might just put down my my bed first. It's always good to put down your bed once you get into a new location, so we'll just plop that down. And oh, we don't have quite enough wood. See, this is why you always want a little bit of wood left over to make a storage box, but that's okay. So let's make ourselves that pillar. Very quick. And what I'm thinking is, I'm going to make this little quadrant here into our staircase. So we're just going to pop that right there like that. And we'll need one wall and one doorway. Now the reason I'm going to put a doorway there is because the more doors you have, the harder the building is going to be to break into. And that's what you want. You ultimately want this thing to be difficult to break into. Wooden doorway. Make one. Pop that guy right there. So you can see, you can start to really see the base coming together. We're going to put a door here. I'm going to put a set of stairs going up here. In fact, we can kind of do that right now. Let's see here. Wood stairs. We'll make a set of stairs. There it is. It's kind of more like a ramp, but... And let's see. Put it so that... maybe like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So it'll open up here, and we'll be able to climb on top of here, and that'll be the next floor, because we're going to want basically a 3-story building, and there's a good reason for that. On the bottom floor, since it's so easy to break into, we're not going to put a whole lot of valuables. We're going to put most of the valuable stuff on the 2nd floor once we build it, and on the 3rd floor we'll put a bunch of windows, and that'll kind of be like it'll be a good way to shoot people. So yeah, don't mind the chat. We're just kind of bantering back and forth. Let's put a couple ceilings. We do have the 2 ceilings. We can actually make our 3rd ceiling. Alright, let's get a ceiling going here. Wood ceiling. We need one more. We can start putting in our ceiling here. Put one there. I'll put the other one right next to it. And this one's just about finished. Here we go. So we'll pop that guy right here. Now we're not going to put a ceiling here yet because this is going to be the next floor. So, but it's coming along. You can see we have the basic foundation here. Let's check on our smelting. So you can see we already have 86 metal fragments. We're going to need approximately 200 per per door. And so it's really going to take a bit, but we're almost there. And you know what we're also going to need, I just remembered, is the workbench. We need 50 wood. So we don't have quite enough wood. What I might do is just kind of run out real quick and gather some wood up. Hopefully no one goes in our little house here and takes all our stuff. So I've just run around and smacked the tree a bunch of times. I've just got enough wood for our workbench. So let's put it down. Let's actually craft it first. Now the workbench lets you craft more advanced things, and I'll show you once we have it down how it works. There we go. So I think we'll put this workbench right over here. Doesn't really matter a whole lot where you put it. I figure we'll put boxes and stuff over here. The door is going to be over there. Maybe we'll put a campfire over here. So we'll put the workbench right over here next to our future site for our boxes. So if you look in the bottom right hand corner now, it says workbench. So whenever you're standing near this thing is when you can craft some better things. Let's see how our smelting is going. 130 fragments, so we're just shy, about 70 shy. And once we get 200, we will craft that door, and I will feel so much safer because my friend Nyrbad there is actually looking for me because he's a big giant troll. And I fear he's going to come and bash me on the head with a rock, so we should probably get this door up before he gets here. Alright, so we've just gathered the 200 fragments. It ate up a pretty good amount of our ore, but that's what it's used for basically. So we need to go to the workbench, and we're going to just go over here and select metal door. See, it's going to say requires workbench and 200 metal, which we have satisfied both criteria. Now, if you walk away from that workbench while it's crafting, it's going to reset the timer, and you're going to be unhappy. So you're just going to want to stay there, and there we have it. We have our metal door. Only we can open that, and nobody can break it. So you can hit this all day long, and nothing will happen. Same with the walls. They just won't break unless you put a C4 or grenades on them, but it takes a bunch of grenades. So we're all set. If my friend Nyrbad comes, he's going to have a hard time getting in, unless of course he somehow manages to jump up here and get in this way. But yeah, that's what we got for the time being. Alright, so this is your basic shelter, and basically what you do from this point is keep collecting more wood and keep building up until you get about 3 floors. But I think that's a good place to stop for now. In the next episode, we will continue to build our little shack up higher and higher, and hopefully fend off some raids maybe by our friends, our so-called friends, right? So I think that's it. Thanks for joining us, thanks for watching, and see you next time in Rust.